Hi, everybody. My name is Supremor. I'm here with,
The one and only Koothak.
and we're here to give a casual gamer's take on the Forsaken Heritage Armor quest line, something we've both kind of been looking forward to.
Absolutely. There's a lot of lore implements in this, and you know, it's really going to be a lot of where the Forsaken have come, what they've come from, and possibly where they're going to be going. And it honestly, it could tease into the next expansion, but we'll get into that later as to like where they're going to go going forward after this whole encounter.
Yeah, so you did this, yesterday, right on patch day? We're recording this on Wednesday the 6th, so you did it on patch day.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually waiting for my copy of Starfield to upload, that nice small 100 gigabyte upload that we all know and love. And while I was doing that, I'm like, you know what? I got time to kill. Let's go ahead and go do that Forsaken Heritage quest and just see, what they're bringing to us. Can they step it up or match the level of energy from the Orc one, which I don't know if you did, but
I have not done the Orc one yet. I'd love to sit and talk to you about it. I just got to finish leveling an Orc.
oh, you got to start leveling an Orc first.
That's true.
But I did the Orc one and just the lore behind it, like the characters that were brought into it. They bring Thrall into it. You get nice throwbacks to old orcs who have long since passed. I won't do any more spoilers behind Thrall being involved, but it's a great, very orc horde, both new and old school moment. So if you played the old Warcraft 2, original Warcraft games, or the earlier versions of WoW, you get this real sense of like, who the orcs were and who they are.
Yeah, I remember seeing some spoilers posted on the World of Warcraft subreddit, and I watch a lot of YouTube content creators. I don't really remember anything they said because it was a little while ago, but yeah, it's definitely something I want to go through and do. Just like I still haven't done the Bane quest line in Dragonflight yet. I've been
Oh my
busy.
goodness.
I've been busy. I'm allowed.
Well, you did just have a little Supremor, so you're
Yeah,
allowed.
yeah. New parent, I get excuses. But anyway, I just wrapped it up maybe an hour ago. The Forsaken Heritage questline. What first impressions before we dive into things? We'll kind of run through it beginning to end here.
Okay, my first impression, just walking into it, was, oh shit, we have the Undercity back. It's no longer all plaguey, which I guess the background lore, everything that's been happening since the Alliance um, forced us to nuke our own city, uh, you know, it was all plaguey, and even in the in-game world, it's still all plaguey until you do this. And it's kind of cool to see that they're they're not diving back into the old Undercity. No, it seems like they're trying to establish a base camp on top of the ruins of Lordaeron. Like they're trying to be more upfront. Like, we're here. This is our city.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you remember. I know me and you did it. Getting the Hunter armor and the of Lordaeron title is you kind of going through and clearing out the plague.
Yeah, no. I remember that now
Yeah,
that you mention it.
yeah.
And you did do that during Shadowlands, which it wasn't an expansion I played, and my only real interaction with that whole storyline was what me and you knocked out in about 15 minutes uh, during Dragonflight when I first came back to the game.
Yeah, it was a pretty short quest. I enjoyed it. Like Shadowlands had a lot of low moments, but going back and kind of reclaiming the Undercity, stepping out of the Shadowlands to go do stuff that I actually cared about was really one of the highs of that expansion, which is saying a lot. And I mean, I don't want to sit here and shit on Shadowlands. As a million people have done that. We all know it was bad, but that quest in particular, like it was kind of a fun one. I know going into this the Heritage Quest, first impressions like going in, kind of loading in, downloading the patch. I was expecting more of like a almost like a Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne recap, kind of with the whole "this is how we were founded" and all this. But literally after the first quest, when they're just like, Scarlet Crusade coming up the wazoo, get out there, we got to deal with this. I was like, you know what? I kind of remembered that was the Blood Elf quest line, was dealing with the Arthas and that, and I was like, you know what? This will be good. I expected kind of an Arthas-y, this is what we came from, but I'm glad that's not what we got.
Yeah, and it's like you don't want to just keep beating a dead horse. It's like they had to move in a different direction, and the Scarlet Crusade, being the fanatics that they are, to a point where, like, if it's dead, re-dead it, kind of thing. It's a perfect enemy for the Forsaken, because they don't care if the Forsaken are trying to be like normal people or if they're even sentient. They just see them as abominations and monstrosities.
Yeah, and that was really nice because you're going through with Lillian Voss, and she's involved, as she's on the Desolate Council. But it was a nice kind of reminder of the revamped Forsaken starting quest lines, where you're kind of following Voss all through Tears Fall and kind of helping her come to terms with what she is now and no longer a member of the Crusade. And that, like, brought back a lot of the memories of doing that, because it's been so long. I usually just do Exile's Reach when I start new characters now. It was kind of a nice reminder that, oh yeah, Voss was once, she's a daughter of a Crusade leader.
Yeah.
I liked that she brought that up. She was like, hey, I used to be some of these people when you were down at the Sepulchre. She mentions that to Kalia.
Yeah, and some of the more like trivial quests, you could say, like, Voss is Voss, and she is like the badass when it comes to the Forsaken. Like, she is just so insanely powerful. Like, you see why you're going through the quest, you're fighting these elite mobs, and she's just one-shotting them.
Yeah, I liked that, because like your characters, obviously my character, he's at like 330 something item level, and I was like struggling, and I was like, oh, this is actually going to be tough, and she just pops on their back and is like, boom, dead.
Yeah. I'm sitting here like, okay, this is what's up. Voss is being Voss, being the boss. But then there's also like the trivial quests, like when you're at the Sepulchre and the High Apothecary is like, hey, I need you to go get me some reagents. It's just like, it's a classic WoW quest. But it's more than that. It's a classic Silverpine quest. Go kill plagued animals, go get this plague bloom, and take down this propaganda. And it's just like, that is such a typical Silverpine quest. Like, I love it, because it's like, it's bringing you back to what was leveling like as an undead through Silverpine, whether it was in Cata or in Vanilla. But you're now max level. It's a heritage armor quest, but it's just kind of like a reminder of, hey, these are the classic quests that you know and love.
Yeah, and that was I think I let out a audible laugh when we got to those quests. You said go out and pick up the Plagued Bloom, and I know I've been doing the hardcore challenge back in Classic, and I'm on my second character. Rest in peace, my Warlock. But they're both Forsaken, and I laughed when he's like, oh, you have to go get me Boomweed, because like Gordo makes you get like Gloomweed, and then you take that to the guy, and he's like, oh, that idiot, no, I said Doomweed, and then they made you go get Boomweed, and I was cracking up, because like that was such a great throwback to that classic. It's not in the game, it's not in retail anymore, but having just done it like twice on the hardcore challenge was like, wow, that's a nice, like you said, throwback to those old school Forsaken like quest lines.
Yeah, and I love that. And then a lot of it, assaulting everything, is just kind of like, okay, it's pretty standard stuff that most people are used to nowadays. Avoid the guys who can see through your disguise. Spoiler, you get a disguise. And then, go take care of mages, and then go kill X amount of enemies and fill up the percentage bar. But, you gotta expect that. but just like the emergence of the Forsaken out of the water.
Oh yeah, the little cinematic bits you got were really
Yeah,
nice. I enjoyed those. Like you said,
I definitely enjoyed the emergence of the undead forces out of the water because it was such kind of like a badass moment. Like, here we come. Like, up come the zombies.
yeah, yeah, and I know like you had just said, it was very, um, I would say it was very safe World of Warcraft, as far as like the questing and the actual experience, because it only took me like maybe 25-30 minutes. I read all the quest text, I clicked all the extra chat options and read through everything they had to say just because I wanted to get
The full immersive lore.
the full experience out of it. I want to see what everyone had to say. Yeah, but I feel it was a very safe
I mean,
questing experience.
safe isn't bad, but coming out of the orc one, which was just, it has become like the standard for the Heritage Armor quest because it's just so immersive in its lore and just it's not like breaking the mold as far as like Warcraft questing is concerned, but it's just such a good experience to have.
Yeah,
But yeah, you're right. It did feel safe.
yeah, and I like the story. I don't necessarily say felt safe because, like I said, I didn't expect to be fighting Scarlet Crusade. I didn't expect the whole like, oh, the Undercity is under siege right now. I didn't expect that. So that was some nice like fresh content to come in. Just the actual quests themselves with the, go kill 10 animals, go pick 5 herbs, go fill the bar, go fight the boss. Like, it was a very, it's structured, it's Warcraft. You kind of, if you didn't read the quest text and you had no idea what was going on, you'd be able to 100% follow along without any worries.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of my favorite things, and I actually just found out about this today after the fact of completing it, when you're doing the Heritage Armor quest, if you were a Sylvanas loyalist, which I was not on my undead, I actually was Horde loyalist 100% through and through.
As was I. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I didn't even do one playthrough as a Sylvanas loyalist.
Yeah, so from what I found out, there's a clip on this. I'm sure it's on TikTok and YouTube and all that. I found it on YouTube. You can actually see like a visage or like a shadow version of Sylvanas speaking to you as one of her loyal subjects. And not really speaking in the sense of regret, but speaking in a sense of kind of pride on how the Forsaken have moved past her. Like, she's always going to be proud of what she did in the sense of what she did for the Forsaken, but maybe not her way of going about it, but the underlying goal of the Forsaken being powerful and the Forsaken being resilient and self-sustaining. She's still very proud of that, even with her trouncing through the maw and trying to save souls.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you haven't seen it, give it a watch. It's only like a 2-3 minute clip. It's not even cinematic, but there is voice acting.
Yeah, I know I saw something on a Reddit this morning while I was at the gym about how I think she sends like Tyrande's bird that's supposed to be watching her
Yeah,
to
something
go
like that.
talk to the loyalist. I love Sylvanas. I loved her for so long, but kind of after BFA and after Shadowlands, it's a character that just needs a really long cool off period, and I feel like even now a bit too soon to be like bringing her back. We should like, I don't want to see her at all this expansion. I don't want to see her at all next expansion. I could probably even do a third without her until we have like that, the universe is not prepared for what is to come jailer threat coming out again, and then she's like, oh, we got to go talk to Sylvanas again, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we got in the sense of the undead heritage is about as much Sylvanas as I'm willing to take right now.
Yeah, and seeing as it was just a really brief thing for the small percentage of people that were Forsaken and loyalists.
Yeah.
I guess it's a cool Easter egg for them, but it still feels kind of, at least to me, a little weird, kind of knowing everything we know now, her coming back and being like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm sorry about all that Shadowlands stuff, but I remember you were my good buddy.
Right? It's like, okay, thanks. I damn near got killed because of you, but thank you.
Yeah.
But anyway, onto the finale with the quest. I mean, obviously, yes, we kill the big bad, which is the commander of the Scarlet Crusade, Forsyth or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
We kill him, and we end up going back to Undercity, or Runes of Lordaeron, as it's called now. What did you think of that? Like, how they show you, like, coming out of the portal room, and you're just meted by this, like, swath of Death Guards, and you're brought straight to the forefront of the Desolate Council.
I really like, and this is not related to the Heritage Quest at all, but when I came out of that portal and I saw all of those, I'll call them Death Guards, I'm not sure what their actual title was, but they're all using the red Lordaeron shield from the last raid in Shadowlands, and I'm just like, man, they're going to get a lot of mileage out of those models.
Well, here's the thing. I noticed, I mean, a lot of the Death Guards had transitioned over to kind of red armor. Like, they're moving away from the purple. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of purple, and I think that's a good primary color for the Forsaken, is that deep, dark purple. But it seems like they're trying to be more Horde than just straight Forsaken. And
Yeah.
that's how it feels to me. It's not like they're not trying to forget their past and who they are, and, like, Lordaeron and citizens of Lordaeron, thus the Lordaeron insignia on the shield, but it seems like it's more Horde red than Forsaken midnight purple.
Yeah, I liked the red color scheme. Like, when I saw that, I was like, oh, dang, that's nice. I'd like to make a mod kind of around the... Obviously, on my mage, I try to keep everything purple because I'm an arcane mage, which is why I was kind of hyped that we were getting that purple-esque heritage armor.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, oh, well, I'm never taking that off. It's going to replace my old top hat transmog. But, yeah, as far as the ending goes, really enjoyed the... Oh, during that final boss fight, when you're fighting the commander of the Scarlets, and he locks you and Voss down, and it does extra action button for Will of the Forsaken.
Oh, that was
chef's kiss.
Choice.
That was nice. Yeah, I thought that was kind of a nice. I was like, oh yeah, the racial. I didn't see that coming. Like, I kind of sat there just staring at the screen for a couple seconds, going, all right, come on, Voss, break us out. And then I saw the button there, and I was like, oh yeah, Will of the Forsaken, of course.
Yeah, that was fantastic. And anyway, but go back to your thoughts on you being presented in front of the Desolate Council.
Yeah, I liked that you got to go up there, and I kind of like how each one had a little piece. They were like, oh, your bravery and your loyalty and your cunning. I don't remember the exact words all of them said, but kind of each person had a little thing to say, and you're kind of... Yeah. As much as I miss the days of, like, Classic and Burning Crusade and even most of Wrath, when you weren't, like, the champion of the world, you were just, yeah, he's that hero that he does stuff. I do like that they really put, like, yeah, we're here, and a lot of that is because of you.
Yeah, they put it on your shoulders. You were the one who you are the champion of the Forsaken for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed the quest. I enjoyed it. If I had to give it, I'd give it like a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10.
Okay. I would probably go a little lower. I'd probably go 7.5 would probably be tops for me. 7 is a solid answer for me.
That might slip down for me once I do Orc, because I understand that is like the cream of the crop.
Yeah, that's coming from doing the Orc Heritage armor. Now, granted, I have done, and full disclaimer, I have done zero Alliance heritage work. I don't play Alliance. I've got all of 2 characters, all in their mid-30s. I don't really venture that side, period. But if you know of um, a better heritage armor quest, please let us know, and I may actually level a Alliance character up to 50 just to check it out.
Yeah, same. I haven't. I mean, I have a human. I just ever since they made it so I can cross faction group and play with my alliance friends, I don't have any reason to go play the human character anymore. But
Yeah,
yeah,
true.
if the human or any of the other or the night elf, if the night elf's any decent, I know I've got characters at level. I just don't do it because it's like, yeah, I'm gonna unlock transmog that I can't use on my horde characters that I play all the time. So
Yeah. I mean,
um,
I've done all the Horde transmog ones that I can do. Tauren, Blood Elf, Orc, and now Forsaken. The only one I haven't done is Goblin. And
there's
honestly, I haven't really looked too much into it. And I really should, because I really have no idea what it entails in the slightest.
I actually didn't even know Goblin had heritage armor. Maybe we should level a couple of goblins together.
Absolutely, I'm definitely down for that. We can't boost them, because boosting negates it, which is the reason my shaman, who was originally Goblin, can't do the Zandalari heritage quest. I actually
Hmm.
don't even think there is one for the allied races, but I can't. I'm not qualified for the heritage armor because the character himself was originally a boost. I think I boosted him from like 60 something up to 100 at the end of Draenor to get him ready for Legion.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I know you can't do it on boosted characters, but I mean, what's 50 levels? It'll take us a couple afternoons. We can knock out the goblin one.
Yeah, I'm actually down for that. I mean, I can make like a, I don't know. I mean, it would kind of be almost like a throwaway character for me. I mean, I doubt I'd toss him, but I don't know if I'd want to double up on another. Um,
Just we'll make him a plate wearer so you can have
class.
another roll at the tusks.
Oh god, those things are gonna be the death of me, man. I have been farming the Tusk of Manaroth since Miss of Pandaria's dungeons and raids were farmable.
Yeah,
I have never seen the Tusk drop. Not even when I group with people or when I run on alts.
yeah. I mean, that's why I have what is it, 4 paladins at this point? Because it took me forever to get my judgment set farmed out. So I just like it was more time efficient to just level more paladins.
Oh my god. Yeah, I've only ever leveled one warrior. I boosted a warrior at the end of BFA because you were playing Alliance, and now he's like a 30 something warrior.
Yeah.
And then I have my Death Knight, and no luck on any of them.
Yeah, I actually kind of as we were coming into the end of this, I heard some stuff out of the rumor mill on Reddit this morning that they're thinking 10.2 is going to be paladins for all, which means I'll be leveling yet another paladin as Forsaken this time.
At this point, why don't you just race change it?
I don't want to give. I don't want to pay the money. I'm cheap.
So you're gonna have a Zandalari, a Blood Elf, a Dwarf, and what's your fourth one?
I have a Torrent. He's not capped yet, but I do have a Torrent paladin.
Okay, so you have a cow, a Zandalari, a Blood Elf, and a Dwarf.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got a couple more options there. I mean, you got at least 3 other Alliance races that could be Paladin.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've got a bunch of them, but they're all like level 15, level 20. Just like I played them for an afternoon, and then I was like, all right, I'm done.
I'm curious because I made a Paladin. I know we're nearing the end, but I just have one more question for you. I made a Paladin in Classic WoW. I don't remember if it was Wrath or if it was Vanilla, but it doesn't really matter. The starting is the same. How the hell did you get past the starting zone? You have 0 attacks. You literally get like Seal of Righteousness or whatever the hell it is that gives you a minor attack buff, but other than that, you're just sitting there auto attacking shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just auto attacks.
That's terrible.
Like
You're just
looking back on when I leveled my first paladin in Burning Crusade, my blood elf,
uh huh.
what the fuck was I thinking leveling prot? Like
I know.
like everyone was like, no, you gotta do it ret and then just switch prot. And I was like, no, I'm gonna do it prot. I did it, but man, I've been trying to do. I tried to do that when Wrath Classic was coming out, and I made it to like level 20, and I don't think I've played him again.
I mean, you used to advocate for leveling as prot.
Yeah, well, I never claimed to be a smart man. But you
All
know,
right.
Paladin's coming. More stuff coming for the Forsaken. Hopefully, I would really like to see Lordaeron retaken in its full glory. Get the Undercity back. Get you know.
I don't want the Undercity back.
I want a revamped Undercity. I don't want to go back down below. I don't want the elevators of death anymore. But I want my mage portal to take me to the Undercity, not to the Bronze Dragonflight guy. And he's like, "Yeah, don't go over there. It's full of death." And it's like, "Yeah, we're dead. I know."
What I would love to see is a complete teardown of Lordaeron. Keep a couple of iconic structures there.
Got to keep that throne room.
As a memoriam, like the throne room. You know, that could be the Desolate Council Chamber. I don't care. But remake it with Forsaken architecture and call it New Lordaeron.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Even if they just like kept the wall of the city but filled the entire, cuz like even when we did this quest, you're kind of running around in there and there's like little, it's like a shanty town right now, but I would like to see that fill up.
Yeah.
With
absolutely.
Forsaken buildings and really give it a Forsaken city. Give them their city back and let us the Forsaken
build it.
Yeah, it like I love the Horde. I'm indifferent on the Alliance, but at the end of the day, I am a loyal citizen of Lordaeron.
Oh, I'm sure you are. Now, I have one last question before we wrap up here. I know we've ran a little longer than we were hoping.
Yeah, we still got a couple minutes.
All right. Now, my biggest question for you. Heritage armor. We know what we have, not including the allied races. They count, but they don't count. They're not one of the core races. What do you want to see? Now, as a reminder, we have Tauren, Forsaken, Orc, and Goblin. Those are the only 4 we have so far on the Horde side.
I'd like to see Troll next as a witch doctor, like a Warcraft 3 witch doctor transmog for Troll.
Okay. That's I like that.
On the subject, I don't want to cut that question off. What do you think of the Forsaken transmog? We didn't even touch on that.
It's clean. I really like it. It suits the Forsaken perfectly. I love the coffin back piece. I love the detail on it. If you actually zoom in on the belt and stuff, you see how there's like forceps and torture devices and embalming kits, as well as like there's a little bit of plague on the belt too, like in vials. Like it is a really good, clean, like you look at it and it says nothing more than it should, and it is definitely a Forsaken transmog. You can't think, oh, that would look good on an orc, or that would look good on a gnome.
Yeah, I agree. It's a really solid set when worn as a set. I'm not personally super fond of the coffin backpack, just because I don't like I'm not a huge fan of the backpack backs, but yeah, it's a personal preference. My only complaint, and I tried to slap on the purple coat, the purple cape from the trading post, it clips into all of the 3D elements.
Oh.
There's really heavy clipping on like the leather bags, and I think a couple of the vials, like they poke through it. So I was like, all right, I'll just do no back. But
But that's because you're not really a fan of the backpack look.
Yeah, I mean it's a really good looking piece. Like, don't get me wrong. Maybe if we had upright Forsaken, like fix our posture, get us some chiropractors in New Lordaeron.
You know what? If you want to be upright, roll female.
Yeah, I'm good. I like that. Their dance is trash. But
Um, but yeah, Upright Forsaken would be cool. I mean, it's not like we don't have the models, but then again, the two models I've seen for Upright Male Forsaken are essentially just gray-skinned humans.
yeah, like was it Darren Proudmore? He's and
And
Kalia. Like,
no, not Callie. I was thinking, what's his nuts? Servanas' little bitch boy.
oh yeah,
Nathanos.
yeah, that guy
Like, I mean, Kalia is just human model with pale skin.
and the glowy white eyes,
Yeah,
like a light forged.
yeah. I do like the idea of the Troll Witch Doctor. I mean, I think that's the last one of the true core races for the Horde that we could get.
Yeah, and then what's the alliance missing? So it'd be Gnome. Does Gnomes have
It,
theirs?
I don't think they have Draenei yet.
Oh yeah, it'd probably.
I think the Gnome came out at the same time as the Goblin. I think Gnome and
Yeah.
Goblin came out simultaneously.
See a troll and Draenei. That'd be a good combo. Cause yeah, they're running
Yeah.
out, and then I wouldn't mind seeing like maybe after all of the what are we talking about? The I'm blanking on the name.
The Heritage Armors.
All of the heritage armors are out. I wouldn't mind seeing like a special class set, just for a little like class quest line. Maybe something like akin to the Legion sets for your class.
Yeah.
Just
Maybe
to
not
kind of
even
keep.
really a full set, but maybe like something that's like significant to a class, just like a single armor piece or like a weapon.
I was gonna say
transmog or
weapon
something.
might be good. You know, just a really good class fantasy weapon.
Yeah.
Just to add to the options.
I am curious because after Troll and Draenei, that's the last of the core races, with the exception of two. The Drakthir, which are brand new, and I don't see them getting a heritage armor anytime soon, and the Pandaren. I mean, really, what are you gonna do with the Pandaren that doesn't make him look like Chen Stormstout? But still,
And I can see them just doing Pandaren Heritage as a standalone because both factions get it. It's that in between.
I can definitely see it maybe color scheme leaning. This is the Pandaren Alliance one as opposed to the Pandaren Horde one. The Alliance has blue trim. The Horde has red.
Maybe like a big keg on their back.
That has like the lion or the Horde symbol.
Yeah, the Horde symbol. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
I mean, definitely an option, but like, I don't see Drakthir anytime soon. I mean, they're a very new race. I don't think, unless they kind of like wrap up their whole mystery of existence and heritage of their entire being by the end of Dragonflight, I don't really see them coming out with a heritage armor this expansion.
Oh yeah, no, not this expansion. It'd be a couple expansions down the line if they get one at all. Mostly because in the dragon form, you can see the shoulders and the belt.
Yeah, so it would have to be an outfit that either has two looks, one for your visage, which is the blood elf form, and then one for the dragon.
Yeah.
Which would actually be cool, but that would be a lot of work on Blizzard's end.
Yeah. And yeah, I'd rather them dedicate the resources to something else. Like we just got Forsaken, and they've been in the game for 20 years. So the Drakthir can wait.
Yeah, well, I mean, the last thing they need to give Forsaken after this, though, is Paladin. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
There's all okay. A Forsaken can be a priest. You're not allowed,
Priest.
and a normal priest.
I know, I'm just giving you a hard time. I mean, it is kind of ridiculous that Lightforged Draenei, who opposed the Fel in every way, shape, and form, got Warlocks.
Yeah. Once they did that, I was like, okay, give me my Forsaken Paladin, please. I would like it. I would very much like it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that kind of seems like a good place to wrap this up.
Yeah, that seems like we're at a wrap here. It's been a good discussion with you today, Supremor.
Yeah, as with you, Koothak.
Yeah, and for those of you who, well, pretty much everyone's going to be new. This is our first video. Um, this is the Hyper Casual Gaming channel. You should know that based on the link you clicked. We'll be posting kind of independently and together. Stuff we're doing either in Warcraft or Sea of Thieves or Baldur's Gate, or Starfield just came out, so look for those. We would be posting them as either full videos like this one or as shorts. So just keep tuned in. If you want to do us a solid, like and subscribe, and we'll just go ahead and do what we can to entertain you and provide you with any useless information that you don't think you need.
Yeah, we are hyper casual gaming, just a couple of average Joes who enjoy gaming and all all types of genres, varieties. And
Yeah.
we will catch you next time.